Pranam Swamiji, and a very warm welcome to all of my fellow devotees, and a loving Jai Guru Devai to all of my fellow bhaktas. Today I'm going to talk to you regarding my experiences with Swamiji and how long I've been in this fold, and how I owe all of my life to my beloved Guruji, my beloved Swamiji. So let me begin from the very starting. I have been in Swamiji's fold, or you can say Swamiji took me in his fold, I feel, before even I was born. My mother actually, both my parents are ardent devotees of Swamiji, and they met him back in late 80s, and my mom was expecting me, and she was going through some complications in her pregnancy, and she was on bed rest, and it was a very complicated pregnancy, and Swamiji told her a couple of things to do, for a safe delivery, for a healthy child, and on the day of the delivery, a lot of miracles happened with her, which I will leave for her to share. But long story short, you can say my birth was a miracle. Swamiji's, जिसको हम बोलते हैं अपरंपार, जो उनकी blessings होती हैं हमारे पे, आशीर्वाद होता है, उस वजह से ही I was able to, I was delivered and I was healthy and everything was fine. My mom was feeling fine, and so that's the first. I owe him my life like that. And how हम सब ऐसे कहते हैं कि स्वामी जी जब भी कुछ कहते हैं तो उसका हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ एक अर्थ होता है. हमेशा हमारे को लगता है कि शायद ये स्वामी जी ने ऐसा क्यों बोला या उन्होंने वैसा क्यों कहा, and we don't know until we don't follow that, and something bad happens or something not so good happens. So I always relate this to, and I always tell Swamiji कि Swamiji हमारी ना छोटी सी torch है. जितने भी हम भक्त हैं, जितने भी हम devotees हैं, all of us, we feel like oh yeah, we can see tomorrow, we know what's gonna happen, and we can kind of not predict, but we can see what's gonna happen. Yeah, I want to graduate from this university, then get married, and then have kids, and we tend to plan our lives. And Swamiji हमेशा बोलते तुम्हें क्या पता कल का, how do you know कि कल क्या लेके आएगा अपने साथ. So all optimistic of course, but we just plan thinking कि yeah, we are immortal, and this is where we have to stay for life and beyond. We don't think about the beyond. So and as I always say कि we're walking through this very dark tunnel, thinking कि we have a small little torch in our hand, जिसको हम अपनी आंखें बोलते हैं. हम बोलते हैं कि हाँ हमारे पास दृष्टि है, we can see. So I feel like we have this very small little torch, and which only illuminates a certain part of the entire dark tunnel, making us feel like yes, we can see everything and we know what we're talking about. And we start to argue and question, not argue I would say, but start to question certain things जो हमें स्वामीजी कभी कभी कहते थे, या हमें अभी भी स्वामीजी कितना गाइड करते हैं, कहते हैं. सो एंड हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि स्वामीजी तो पूरा का पूरा पूर्ण प्रकाश है. वी आर ट्राइंग टू कंपेयर आवर स्मॉल लिटिल टॉर्च कि हमें पता है स्वामीजी ऐसे क्यों बोल रहे हैं. For instance, I'll tell you an incident to correlate this. So when I was born, my Swamiji told my parents that उसको 1 साल तक don't take her out anywhere. Let her be inside the house and don't take her out of the house at all. So it's a difficult thing, right? I mean, of course, you have baby and most you spend the time at home, but it's very hard not to step out of the house even once in the entire year. So we're not talking about an hour, a couple of hours, days, 40 days, 50 days. No, we're talking about the entire 1 year. And it happened so that year there was a wedding in our family. My mother's brother was getting married, and so it was an occasion where obviously it's very difficult for my mom not to attend that, or where would she even leave me. So that time she had to, because of having no choice, she had to take me to the wedding. And when I came back, I had 104 fever, and I wasn't even once, I was maybe 10-11 months old, sorry. And जैसे हम घर आए, how अभी हम क्या करते हैं, स्वामी जी हमारी हेल्पलाइन है. स्वामी जी हेल्पलाइन, कुछ भी होता है, something goes wrong, something goes south, something goes bad, we just pick up the phone, dial the number 22524113, and we're like, स्वामी जी ऐसा हो गया. So they did the same thing, right? So my mom called Swamiji कि स्वामीजी ऐसा हो गया, उसको तो बुखार चढ़ गया. And Swamiji's words obviously were कि बेटे तुम्हें तो मैंने कहा था कि उसको मत बाहर लेके जाना. So that day, since that day and today, right, and obviously beyond as well, I have never ever and will never ever take any of Swamiji's words or guidance lightly, because now coming back to my tunnel वाला point कि जो स्वामी जी को दिखता है, स्वामी जी जानते हैं, जो पूर्ण प्रकाश है, जो पूर्ण परमात्मा है, जिनको पता है आगे पीछे अभी का, आज का, कल का, सब कुछ उनको दिख रहा है, उनसे हम क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकते. यू नो वी थिंकिंग कि हमारी छोटी सी लाइट जो है दैट इज मेकिंग अस सी मोर. नो, स्वामी जी तो पूरा का पूरा प्रकाश है, जो वो जानते हैं. हम कभी जानने की कोशिश भी करें तो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अस. सो वी शुड वैल्यू दैट. एंड यू नो लाइक स्वामी जी कहते हैं, बेटे गुरु का शब्द न मिटे कोई. So that's you know, that's something that I relate with that bhajan right there, कि स्वामी जी का शब्द जो है कभी भी खाली नहीं, कभी भी खाली नहीं है. स्वामी जी भी ये अभी भी कहते रहते हैं कि बेटे ये जो हाथ है ना, ये खाली नहीं है. मतलब स्वामी जी's hand ये खाली नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट एम्प्टी. जस्ट बिकॉज तुम्हें अपनी आंखों से नहीं दिख रहा कि इसमें क्या है, डजंट मीन दैट डजंट एग्जिस्ट. यू नो, सो लाइक आई ऑलवेज कीप थिंकिंग, यू नो, वी थिंक कि हमें लगता है हवा है, हमें पता है हवा है, बट कैन वी सी इट? नो. जस्ट बिकॉज कि हम बिलीव नहीं करते हवा है डजंट मीन कि वो एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती. सिमिलरली जस्ट बिकॉज हमें दिखता नहीं कि स्वामी जी के प्रकाश निकल रहा है या हाथों में कुछ है, डजंट मीन कि वो नहीं है. ओनली बिकॉज वी कांट टेक विद आवर फिजिकल, दीज टू फिजिकल आइज. So another incident that I can recall with Swamiji, there are plenty. You know, I feel like every single day, I think we all wake up with his blessings. Swamiji बोलते हैं, बेटे नया दिन, नई किरणें, नया दिन लेके आता है, नई hope लेके आता है. And I feel कि every single day some kind of miracle happens with me. Just that I'm not when I'm very aware of the miracles, or when I'm very like in tune with you know, my inner self and Swamiji, I'm able to see those miracles. But I feel like when I'm not in tune with that divine energy, I feel that so many things happen, and you know, we're just like, ये तो, you know, this had to happen, you know. The simple thing, like, you know, we all, I feel like all of us take for granted like simple things like this, having food on our plate, having a roof on our head, this, you know, for the night. So I feel like all these things we take for granted. But one such thing I wanted to recall is, I wanted to narrate is an experience that stuck with me. I was in the US for 5 years. I did my graduation from there, all because of Swamiji's grace. So when I was there once, you know, for those of you who've been there, and for those of you who haven't as well, वैसे जब भी वहाँ पे शाम होती है तो एकदम से अंधेरा हो जाता है. Like there is no like, you know, gradual evening. There's like, you know, just like night falls. And we were actually hiking in a hiking trail in a forest in Pennsylvania, and वहाँ पे एकदम से हम लोग, we were hiking for the whole day, and you know, शाम हुई, we were like, yeah, you know, we can just hike a little bit more and we'll head out in half an hour. Not realizing that, and that was the first year I was in the US, so I didn't realize that, you know, I'm in a forest, and यहाँ पे जब शाम के बाद रात होगी तो वो एकदम से अंधेरा हो जाएगा. It won't give me enough time to, you know, head back to my car or head back to, you know, back home. And ऐसा ही कुछ हुआ. शाम हुई एकदम से, and it suddenly everything became dark, and like it was like night fell suddenly. It was absolutely pitch dark, and we were in the middle of this forest hiking, and of course we were scared. You know, we were obviously, who wouldn't be scared? We were like, अच्छा अब तो you know, like just kind of a do or die, and do also like what can we do? You know, where do we go? And हमारे phone में there was no signal, there was no GPS, so we were literally lost in the woods. And I was just thinking about Swamiji, and you know, mostly like that time I used to, when I was in the US, so the time was such that I used to call Swamiji 8:30 PM my time, and Swamiji के यहाँ पे सुबह के 6 बजे होते थे. So उस time पे around same time था, but my phone had no signal. So I was just like praying in my heart कि अच्छा, you know, like let me just do a pretend call to Swamiji कि, you know, अपने दिल से let me just call him. I know I cannot physically talk to him right now because I don't have signals, but let me just दिल से उन्हें मैं फ़ोन मिलाती हूँ. तो I just dialed the number from my heart and I was just like, प्रणाम स्वामी जी, ऐसा हो गया, हम हम फंसे हुए हैं यहाँ पे, and there is obviously हमारी गलती है कि we should have realized that we shouldn't be out that late in the evening, knowing that when it becomes dark it will be harder for us to come back home. So and just वो करके अपनी प्रे करके अपने मन में, I just we just kept walking and I was talking about, we just kept talking about Swami ji, and स्वामी जी बातें करने लग गई अपने आप से, एंड भजन वजन अपने मन में स्वामी जी के लिए करने लग गई, एंड आउट ऑफ नो वेयर, एंड दिस इज इट्स नॉट अ वेरी पॉपुलेटेड एरिया, तो काफी बड़ा फॉरेस्ट है, एंड वहाँ पे मतलब देयर वाज नोबडी व्हेन वी वेंट देयर, इट वाज ओनली अस, वी कुडंट इवन हियर एनी एनिमल्स और एनीथिंग, देयर वाज एब्सोल्युटली साइलेंस, एंड बहुत दूर कहीं पे we were able to see that there might be some road there, but it was so far and we had no idea how to reach, and there was no light, so we were just walking, and all we could hear is there is absolutely pitch dark around us. We don't know where there is a path, where there is not a path, where we are walking we might fall down, there might be a valley, there might be a pathar, there might be a rock, there might be something, no idea. We're just walking, just taking his name कि बस हमारे जहाँ ना पैर रख रहे पड़ रहे हैं बस वहाँ पे कुछ होना, and suddenly we just I saw this light coming from the back, and I pointed to my fiance, I was like, ye light kahin se aa rahi hai, and we just turned back and there were two red lights, and they were a bit scary, and we were alone in the forest, and we were like, there can be an animal and we have nothing to save, even to fight, हमें दिख भी नहीं रहा है, otherwise we would pick up something to hit or something like that, but कुछ आसपास नहीं है, and we had no idea what this thing is, and it's approaching us, right? And we're just standing over there, just praying to Swamiji, aaj to it's probably, this is it, right? This is it, I'm gonna say it in the face, this is it, this is the last day, and the moment's finally right, and I was just praying in my heart to Swamiji, what's happening? And then as those lights kept coming closer, I started hearing footsteps of people, and I dekha ek puri family with a husband, wife, and 2 kids with their 2 dogs. So the lights thi, red lights thi, actually डॉग्स की आंखें चमक रही थी, बिकॉज उनके ऊपर किसी हाईवे से लाइट पड़ी थी, दैट वाज द रिफ्लेक्शन, सो दे वर अप्रोचिंग एंड दे वर लाइक, आर यू लॉस्ट? एंड आई जस्ट डिड नॉट नो वेदर आई शुड लाफ, वेदर आई शुड I just didn't have any words. I wanted to thank Swamiji. I didn't know if these people I had nothing, no response. I was just like, बच गए. Thank you Swamiji, thank you so much. I think we're saved. So we were like, obviously we were like, yeah, we're lost, and they were like, there is no, उन्होंने बताया हमारे को, there is no one who comes with this hiking trail. So we just happened to be here, and the chances of that are very very low. So वो बस एक miracle था जो basically हमें कोई दिख गया, and not just that, उनकी कार पार्क थी, and they had to go to the same place that we lived in. So they dropped us back home, and then they went back to their place. And so basically when उस time पे भी when we came back to India, and I met Swamiji, and ऐसे I was talking to Swamiji, and Swamiji बोलते रहते फोन पे कि बेटे मैं तुम्हारे पल पल साथ हूँ, मैं पल पल तुम्हारे साथ हूँ. So actually wondering, can Swamiji see what we're doing every second? Is Swamiji able to, I don't know, as a divine power, be wherever we are, and knows what we are saying, what we're doing when we're watching TV, when we are speaking, when we are on the mobile phone. I was just wondering, can Swamiji see all that? Par matlab ki second to second. So, is he there with us all the time? Because obviously my mind cannot fathom that. It's unimaginable for me. एंड तो मैंने ऐसे अपना सवाल किया, मैंने कहा स्वामी जी पल पल साथ हो? तो स्वामी जी कहते हैं क्यों, तुम्हें जंगल से बचा के नहीं लाया था मैं? एंड आई जस्ट डिड नॉट नो व्हाट टू से, बिकॉज आई hadn't mentioned to Swamiji about this incident at all, and nobody else knew about this thing. So I was like, I just didn't know all of, I think my question कि पल पल तुम्हारे साथ हो was answered like that, वो स्वामी जी का वो एक सेंटेंस वो मेरे लिए बहुत था. So that was a very बहुत अच्छा मिरेकल था वो जो हमारे साथ हुआ था. And again I think our antennas were on, we were in touch with the divine energies, and we were talking about Swamiji. So this happened, and we could realize that this is not an ordinary incident, this is a miracle. And another such thing happened actually, which is again correlation with Pal Pal Tumhare Saath Hu. And this happened 3.5 years later from this incident, and it was my birthday, and we were driving, and again I was in America at this point, and we were driving from one to the other state. So we were living in New Jersey and driving to Philadelphia, which is my where I did my undergraduation, and it was around an hour and a half of a drive. And subah Swamiji se baat hoke we left, and so that point, my husband had called, Swamiji had called, my husband actually had called Swamiji ke Swamiji se Manya ka birthday hai karke, and Swamiji was like, हाँ बेटे जाओ, खूब आशीर्वाद दिया, खूब अच्छा देखो, खूब घूम के आओ. And he just said one thing at the end, कहते बेटे आराम से जाना. And Swamiji normally says that, but at that moment my husband just felt that there's something, like I don't know, I just felt something, like that he was pressing on this fact कि आराम से जाना. So we kept in mind कि ठीक है, we have to drive आराम से, let's just go slowly and everything. The rain was crazy. It was raining cats and dogs. We couldn't see anything. The traffic just stopped basically. इतनी बारिश थी कि nothing. We could not see anything in the front. And it happened so that we basically were on the highway and we are trying to, and this is a city highway. It's not like वो वाला highway नहीं है. City के अंदर है. And it's like pouring cats and dogs. And we were not at a very high speed. We were about like 20 miles an hour, which is about 30-40 kilometers an hour. And suddenly, I don't know what happened. वो गाड़ी का control नहीं रहा, because इतनी तेज बारिश थी कि उसमें the car starts slipping, starts skidding. So it started skidding, and there was no control of the vehicle with the steering. And the next thing we know is like our car just turned. Like we were in this lane and there's traffic coming from here, there's cars in the front, and our car just drifted and turned like this 180 degrees towards the traffic, and there was like a very high speed traffic coming in, coming from the back. So the car was like this, and there was literally like I could see cars about to ram into our car. But suddenly, I don't know what happened. My husband didn't have the steering in his hand. Something happened and our car just turned back. And it was a microsecond when I saw the other car just brush into our side, like an inch or two of a gap. And not just this. So while this was happening, I was actually, I think I was messaging somebody, and I accidentally pressed the voice note button, and something just got recorded. So the accident, basically, the drifting of the wheels, all the sound of the rain, everything started being recorded. And I was just like, okay, thank God, we are saved. It's my birthday, and thank you Swamiji. But we just couldn't think, and obviously we were very, very scared, because it was it would have been a very bad accident if it would have gone through. So that night when I was looking at my phone, and my friend just messaged me, the one I was texting at that time, that hey, were you in an accident? And I was like, yeah, how do you know? He's like, well, you sent me a voice note by mistake. And then I played the voice note, and I was thinking, like, obviously there's going to be the voice of the car ramming, and the wheels and the skidding, and maybe the rain, but it wasn't that. The recording basically had me saying Swamiji's name out loud. And I did not even know that I was calling on Swamiji. It was so subconscious. मुझे मालूम ही था कि वो record क्या हुआ. I had no idea. I was like surprised, and to my friend, he just heard the skidding and everything else. When I played the recording in my phone, I could hear Swamiji's name. And I still have goosebumps when I talk about the story. So that night when we called Swamiji ने अपने आप ही, when you have this kind of incidents or those moments and you call up Swamiji picks up the phone in one go. You don't have to keep dialing his number. वो एक बार में उठा लेते हैं phone. That day he picked up. मैंने कहा प्रणाम Swamiji and everything. And कहते बेटे बच गए ना. And I didn't even say anything that day. I didn't speak to anyone after that incident. And I was just so scared. And मैंने कहा Swamiji आपने बस कहते हाँ बेटे मेरे को दिख गया था, मैंने कुछ कर दिया था, तुम्हें कोई आँच तो नहीं आई ना, तुम पे कभी आँच नहीं आने दूंगा. And I still, it's unbelievable. That incident is really unbelievable. That वो जब 2-3 incidents से पूरा देना I'm like, वो स्वामी जी जो बोलते हैं ना, बेटे पल पल साथ हो, that he means it. He means it, and there is so much to prove that. So and always whenever I think of this moment, I keep thinking of that song that Swamiji always loved and loves. पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहते हो, जीवन मीठी प्यास ये कहते हो, पल पल दिल के पास स्वामी जी तुम रहते हो. So on that note, we thank you so much, Swamiji. You've always been around, and without us knowing that we're calling upon him, subconsciously these things happen. And even now that the fact that we don't have you, Swamiji, in the physical presence, still and Swamiji used to always say this thing, and I remember till the very last day of his physical body, he just kept saying कि बेटे मुझे कोई देखना थोड़ी आता है यहाँ पे no one's coming to see my body, कोई शरीर देखने नहीं आता मेरे यहाँ पे. People come because of the light within, the divinity within. लोग तो मेरे बेटे अंदर के प्रकाश को देखने आते हैं, अंदर के प्रकाश को नमस्कार करते हैं. एंड और मेरे सारे काम मन की गति से करता हूँ. कभी खुद तो मैं फिजिकली गया नहीं, I've never been out physically बेटा. Whatever I do is through the purity of my heart and the divinity that's within. All the power is to that. So I feel that's very true, because even right now, even after Swamiji left a physical body, there's so many miracles that I keep hearing from people, and that happened with me myself, that that forced me to believe that Swamiji has gone nowhere. Physical presence is one thing, but जो स्वामी जी जो बोलते रहते हैं बेटे मैं मन की गति से काम करता हूँ, मैं अपने भक्तों को कभी नहीं छोड़ता, and all of this is divine energy and it's in the air, it's in the atmosphere. I feel that there are days when I don't, and that I feel is only because I'm not in tune with the divine powers or with Swamiji or of my inner self. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It does. We just have to be more aware. We have to be more responsive, and more alert to all these divine happenings in life. In all this COVID times as well, everyone's safe, and everything is going okay. So I feel like that's nothing but Swamiji's grace. Abhi bhi tarah incidents hote hain. We get, all of us, I've heard so many devotees share with me as well, and even myself, we keep getting Swamiji's dreams and everything, and all of this is what? This is just his physical, it's not his physical presence, it's his divinity that still surrounds us. It has immense power. Just we have to be in tune with it, and we will be able to see miracles all around. So I'd just like to end on this beautiful song that Swamiji likes and loves, and that's very close to my heart, and this song always reminds me of Swamiji, and this is for you, Swamiji, dedicated to you from heart to heart. हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, स्वामी जी तुम ही जानते, स्वामी तुम ही जानते, दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो स्वामी, दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो स्वामी, तुम हमारे प्राण हो, तुम हमारी जान हो, हमको तुमसे प्यार है, हमको तुमसे प्यार है. We love you, Swamiji, we love you, we love you, Swamiji, we love you, Swamiji, we love you, Swamiji, we love you. Pranam Swamiji, love you.